Bust your mouth talking all that noise. You can hate all you want, but we still them boys. Dirty, dirty D. Texas where we stay at. Being inside in order till you know that's where we play at. Hey, this year, this the payback. Yeah, we them Cowboys, and nah, we don't play that. Work. This is Cowboy Nation. Work. Welcome to Cowboy Nation. Work. Y'all can keep on hate. Work.
Cowboys Nation, Cowboys Nation, Cowboys Nation. It is almost game day. Week 4, Dallas Cowboys versus the Green Bay Packers. And today we're going to discuss what our Dallas Cowboys offense needs to do in order to beat the Green Bay Packers. It's a tall task, but somebody got to talk about it, right? All right, before we do that, I want to ask, first of all, that you do hit the subscribe button. Thank you guys so very much. I've gotten over 20 new subscribers since yesterday. That means that somebody loves me. Thank you guys for loving me. And our sponsor, yeah, that's right, sponsor is 1-833 oh I'm hit. It's the car wreck attorneys at 1-833-644-6448, 1-833-OH IMHIT, 1-833 oh I'm hit. If you ever hurt in a car accident in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex or anywhere in Dallas, please call the experts, the car accident attorneys, at 1-833-644-6448. Let's get to it. The Cowboys got their work cut out for them. Yesterday we talked a little bit about defense, but today we're going to discuss what the offense needs to do in order to win this game. And I don't know, some people are like, hey, man, first thing we got to talk about is the fact that we might need to score 40 points again. And we're capable, but that's going to be difficult. That's going to be difficult without CeeDee Lamb. It is. And I talked about the fact that the Cowboys are not an explosive offense. Not that they can't score 40 and 50 points. They're just not an explosive offense. What they are is a team that can methodically move down the field, and it requires good team football, no mistakes. It requires you not to be throwing interceptions, requires you not to be fumbling the ball, requires you not to have holding penalties. And you can overcome some of that, but you're not getting 40-yard, 60-yard splash plays a lot of the time with the Cowboys. Part of that, I feel like, is because of the offensive line. You got to have a lot of room to sit back there and just chunk it 40 yards down the field. And we're just that's not what we're getting right now. Maybe that changes. I don't know, but that's not what we're getting right now. So what we have to do is to be able to be in a game. And as long as we're in a game and we can keep that, if we start to give up a touchdown every time that the other team touches the ball, we're going to be in trouble. That's all it is to it, right? But if we can methodically move down the field, and that's going to be what my number one thought process is how good does TJ Bass play backing up Tyler Booker? Are we still able to get consistent 5, 6, 7-yard run plays out of our running back, which makes our quick little dink and dack passes to our tight end very effective? Because on first down, we're 4 yards down the field, and then we can throw 4 yards to a tight end and then run on third down and pick up our next play. And we can do that all the way down the field until we either get a field goal or we get a touchdown. And that is going to be, like I said, it's going to rely. You can't do one side of your line. I mean, you can do that a few times on just the left side, but eventually they just start overloading and making it very difficult. Tyler Bass needs to be able to consistently in the run game. Terrence Steele is decent in the running game. We have issues in the pass game, but he's decent in the running game. If TJ Bass can cover, we've seen Brock Hoffman do decent in the running game and the passing game. He did okay. Obviously we have our pro at guard on the other side, and Tyler Guyton does pretty decent in the running game. And if that is a consistent, if TJ Bass can just do decent, just hold up. He ain't got to get pancake blocks. He just has to stand in the way. Just get in the way. Don't let people run by him. And if he can do that, Javonte Williams has proven that he can, after contact, still get 2 yards, 3 yards, 4 yards. So if he's not hitting until 2 yards down the field, and he can pick up the extra 2 and 3 yards, that's the beauty of having a good running back to be able to keep the ball going. And that, to me, is a more important aspect than how good we get wide receiver play. I think that our wide receivers in that type of offense can do just fine. And eventually you'll get a 15-yard, 20-yard, chunk pass to Turpin, or chunk pass to George Pickens, or whatever the case is. You'll be able to pick those up, but it's going to come as you're continuing to get 4 and 5 and 6 yards at a time. We need our tight ends to step up and be able to not be all pro bowl tight ends. I don't need that. We just need catch the ball at 5 yards and get tackled. That's pretty much all y'all doing now. Anyway, I don't know why he got so much money to catch the ball at 5 yards and get tackled. But if you can just do that, screw it. We'll be okay, right? And if we can consistently do that, then we will be where we need to be. We'll be able to be in a football game with the Green Bay Packers. And if we're in a football game with the Green Bay Packers and we have the ball at the end, I'm confident that we can win the game the same way we could have won against the Philadelphia Eagles. We did win against the Giants. And as long as we don't get blowed out like we did against the Chicago Bears, then we should be okay. So that is my number one goal, is the play of TJ Bass. That's one. That's what needs to happen. He needs to play good football. Okay. Dak needs to do what Dak does. Everybody else can continue. I guess the number two thing would be how good the third wide receiver does. Now, when I say third wide receiver, I'm counting George Pickens as one, and I'm counting Kevontae Turpin as two. So whoever the third is, that Tolbert, which it probably will be. But if we end up getting the Flournoy in there and seeing what he's able to do, different things like that, then possibly it would be him instead. But that third wide receiver spot, how good that wide receiver does really has a huge impact on this game with CD being gone. And if we can get some play, and man, we talked about all the guys that we had at training camp and some of the things like that, man, it would have been really, 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 really good to get some of the play that we expected to get. But I'm scared to assume that a Holden or someone could have came out now and actually, assisted us. But I feel like at least we're not going to get Jonathan Mingo for this game, obviously. So our only option apparently is Tolbert and Flournoy. And one of them has to show up. And Tolbert has been very inconsistent. But if we can get that good game out of you now, Tolbert, if we can get the good game out of you for this game, we don't need a lot. We don't need a lot. We need about 5 or 6 catches, about 50, 60 yards, 1 touchdown. That's not hard. It's kind of hard in the NFL, but whatever. It's not hard for an NFL wide receiver, right? 5 catches, 10 yards a pop, 1 touchdown. If we can get that out of you, everybody else is doing their job. Again, we have an opportunity to win this football game against the Green Bay Packers. Green Bay Packers is a beatable team. We watched it last week. We know what our defense has to do. We don't know if our defense is going to do it, right? But they are capable of getting pressure up the middle, and that's what was happening last week, pressure up the middle. Our defense is capable of doing that. What we're not getting a lot of is capable from the edges. Pressure from the edges. Hopefully, Jadeveon Clowney can do something about that, and now we can start to get that pressure as well. And if we're putting pressure on them and we're playing good team defense, then we can stay in the game. And if we can stay in the game, I feel like the Cowboys have an opportunity to win against the Green Bay Packers. That's what has to happen. Last week, our offense got into a situation where they panicked, and they panicked early. I feel like they panicked way too early. Abandoned, and Dak ended up throwing 40 passes. And that's not us. We're not running gun. Dak's not that quarterback. But he can play his position in a situation where we have good football around him running the ball, 7-yard passes, eventually a 15 yards or 20-yard pass. He can throw for 400 yards. He's just not getting ready to be explosive guy, 40-yard passes at a time. He's not going to have 3 40-yard passes for touchdowns unless something went terribly wrong with the other team. That's just not him. But if we can stay in the game, if we can keep our running game going, then yes, we can put 30, 35 points on the game and actually pull one off. But it would be way easier if our defense did their job. We talked about that yesterday. But that's going to have to be the way that it is. And if we're getting scored on every play, it doesn't matter. There's nothing that we don't keep up. We don't keep up in a shootout situation. We can go down methodically and score, and we can end up scoring 21 points a half, 42 points in a game. We can do that. But man, it's difficult for us to just have explosive, every time you score, we score type of games. That's always been difficult for us. Well, that's it. That's all I got for you as far as the offense. The offense needs to make obviously some improvements from last week. Hopefully they stick with their game plan longer, and TJ Bass is able to keep their running game going. The rest of the offensive line obviously has to do their job too, but he's the unknown right now. He's the one that we don't know what's exactly going to happen. So that's why I'm saying that TJ Bass is the key to the success of the Dallas Cowboys offense for week 4 against the Green Bay Packers. Well, I'm going to holler at y'all on game day, see how we do. See if we're depressed again. Oh, my God. It took me a long time to get over this last week's depression, y'all. Took me a very long time. Thank y'all for hitting the subscribe button. That really helped me. It kind of picked up my spirits a little bit. It picked up my spirits a little bit. When y'all hit that subscribe button, I feel a whole lot better. So thank you guys for continuing to support Defending the Boys and the Defending the Boys podcast. Your boy, I Heard D. Will. I'm out.